Welcome to TruExact Show. I'm here with Eric, Brian, and I'm joined by a special guest, Diabolic, the rapper Diabolic, just in case nobody knows. But, you know, we're big fans. I've been a big fan since about, I think, '03 when I saw you on Showtime The Next. And we're going to get into that. And I just want to thank you for coming on, man. I hope you're staying safe out there. How you doing?
Yeah, man, you too. I appreciate you guys having me. I do. You took it way back. With the Showtime shit, man.
Yeah, bro, and I want to get into that because we will get into that. I got into an argument with my friend. I still remember to this day about your episode specifically. But what I like to do is get the guys on we kind of grew up like watching a bit and like hear their stories. So let us know how you got into rap, man. Like start from the beginning.
Let's think. I mean, probably like a lot of people. I had an older brother. He's like 5-6 years older than me. So he had like, trying to think, the earliest stuff was, it's like Rakim and Black Sheep, NWA. So I started listening to hip hop, like stealing his tapes. 2 Live Crew, that was a big one. Because I wasn't supposed to listen to that, you know? When you're like a little kid, you're not supposed to be listening to that shit. I started like that. I started listening to his stuff. As I got a little older, you know, like junior high, really, 13, 14 years old, I really started getting into it more. We started trying to rap. I couldn't rap for shit. I was pretty terrible. I could always write, kind of, but I couldn't rap. I had my homie, Chris Snots, who was dope from the first rhyme he ever wrote. He was just nice. I don't even understand it. He could write, he could rap good, he was on beat, everything. He used to, he just made me freestyle. He'd be like, yo, your vocabulary is crazy. You just keep going, keep going. I would always be fucking up. And then I learned how to freestyle and I could pretty much rap after that. Right. So I got into it. It was fun. You know, we do a lot of house party shit, you know, ciphers, smoking weed and shit. And then girls started blowing me when I would battle people, to be honest with you. And I was like, this is fucking really cool, you know?
We'll rap for
you know, made you fucking seem cool.
Boy, that didn't happen to me when I started rapping.
Yeah, I got a couple blowies and fucking, I was like, this is definitely for me, you know? And then, yeah, I just kind of got addicted to it after that. Then, you know, we got a little older. We were like 17, 18 years old, which was the mid-90s, like 95, 96. We started trying to get into studios to record music. But like, it wasn't like now where you could just hit somebody up on the internet, get a beat, you know, record your shit for $40 or something. Back then it was like you needed, you needed to know somebody who made beats, or you know, you could use stuff off of, you know, like singles and stuff. You could use industry stuff. So you'd either need a producer behind you, and then every session was ridiculous. You had to buy ADAT tapes, which looked like, if you don't know what those are, they look like VHS tapes. They're about $120 a piece back then, maybe. And they fit about 3 to 4 songs on them, depending on the length, like 14 minutes of music or something. And then studios were $60 to $7,500 an hour to record. So it wasn't easy. You know, you're like 17, 18 years old, and a session could run you 100 for a tape, $250 for a session.
Was that with mixing too? Was that with mixing too?
They would kind of mix it on the spot.
Yeah.
It would kind of, you know, it was all analog back then, so they could kind of do it as you were going. It would sound pretty good, you know. But it was expensive, so we started trying to do that. Then, little after that, late '90s, you know, digital 8-track and 16-track recorders, the little things kind of look like an MPC, started being available, and people started having those, so you could kind of record, you know, at people's cribs a little more often, and became a little more accessible. But I mean, honestly, it was kind of a fucking pipe dream, though. You know, back then you kind of just thought like, yeah, maybe somebody will notice me. I'll get a deal or some producer will put me on. You know, it was kind of a pipe dream in like, I don't know, like 99, maybe 2000. I was working this shitty job, and my homie was on fucking AOL, like Instant Messenger, way back. You know, like he was on AIM, talking to some chick who claimed she could get me into a battle at the wetlands, right? And he's like, yo, you want to battle at the wetlands tonight? I'll drive out to the city. And I was like, all right, yeah, let's do it. So we go to the fucking spot, go to the wetlands, legendary place. And that chick couldn't do shit. She couldn't get me into a battle. She was full of shit. So I went up to the door, and the guy doing the door was Poison Pen. He was throwing the battle. He was throwing the battle. He organized the event with Mahogany Brown. So I went up to Poison Pen, who I didn't know him. I had never met him before that. And I'd heard of him on like college radio a couple times. I knew what Stronghold was and Breeze Ever Flowing. At one point in my life, I was convinced was the greatest rapper to ever live. And so I went up to Poison Pen and I was like, yo, put me in this battle. I'll murder everybody. I just said it to him. And he looked at me like, what the fuck is this guy talking about, you know? And I was like, nah, for real, put me in the battle. I'll body everybody here. What I didn't know was he knew who I was, kind of. Because my homie Lou Cypher and Manifest, who used to battle, they were a couple years younger than me. I had met them out here at a studio, DJ Crossfader's studio. And Penn and them were always looking for artists to battle because they did bi-weekly. Like every other week, they would do a battle. And so they were always looking for people to battle. And Lou Cypher was looking for me. He couldn't get in touch with me, but he was like, yo, I got to get Diabolic. I got to get Diabolic. You got to hear this guy. He'll murk people. So he knew who I was. He put me in the battle. And I did. I bodied people in that battle. That's how I met everybody I know in pretty much New York hip-hop was that one night.
Wow.
So I met Poison Pen, Immortal Technique. I met a ton of people there that night.
So you actually owe that girl who couldn't get you in your career.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The one that didn't give you a blowy.
It's out there fucking scavenging for some fucking pussy on the internet in 1999. You know what I'm saying? Fucking. So
that, by the way,
that's pretty much, and then it kicked off. After that, I had a name after one night, kind of, in like the underground among other artists and shit. And all of a sudden, like I kind of had this little buzz surrounding me out of nowhere.
Crazy. So do you appreciate how it was, like your story of coming up and getting noticed compared to how it is now, how a kid could kind of mix on his own, record his own, everything, and then just put it on YouTube? Do you appreciate how you came up compared to now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I miss it back then. Like, I get a lot of kids like now, they'll ask me, like, do you have any, advice for an up-and-coming artist? And I'm like, to be honest with you, I have no fucking clue. There's so much shit. There's so much music getting put out constantly. I don't even know how these kids get noticed. You know, to build an independent like fan base now, I wouldn't even know where to start. Even know where to start.
You have these guys, like you'll hear a song like recently. I heard this song. I think I texted Brian Eric. It's Jack Harlow, "What's Poppin'," right? Never heard it before, and so I was like, "Oh, okay. Let me see who this guy is." Never heard him. I go to his Instagram. He's got like 1 million followers, so he has a following. I'm like, I've never heard of this guy, but there's so many people. There's so many people now out that like it's so hard to keep your ear to the ground. But we've asked this a lot. Do you think that's a good thing or it gets oversaturated? It's a good thing to not have the gatekeepers somewhat, or it's a bad thing?
I mean, it depends. You know, the quality has gone down, in my opinion. But then again, I'm old as fuck compared to these kids, and what they want to hear is what they want to hear, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm more like, I'm into lyrics and, boom bap shit still, which is increasingly hard to find. Everything's kind of, I mean, hip hop sold out. That's it. That's the best thing I could say. It's best description for it is it's been sold out for like 15 years now.
Who do you think carved that lane? Sorry, Brian, go on.
No, I was going to say that I think it's not so much that like hip hop has disappeared. I feel like hip hop has taken a back seat, like, because it still exists. It's not like it doesn't, because you have like people like yourself, and then you have like Ilmac, and you have people that make this great music with the lyrics and then actually rapping, and then you have pop music, which is
right.
And I think people get those confused a lot, where they think, oh, okay, just because he's rhyming and he's not singing, then it's necessarily hip hop, and that's not the truth.
It's all falls under the same umbrella now.
Yeah.
Whereas like you got, hardcore music and metal, and these things don't fall under classic rock.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't all just get classified as rock and roll music. It's got 15 different categories: death metal, this, that. You got folk. You got all kinds of different stuff. They're all playing. They're playing the guitar. They're singing. It doesn't get lumped in the same category. Whereas if we're rapping on a beat, they call it hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, that's just they all call all that shit, whether you're mumble rapping with auto-tuned hooks, they'll throw that in the same category as what I do. I'm on the same chart as them.
Like Post Malone,
very difficult.
Malone and you would be considered hip hop when you're completely not in the same genre.
Yeah, it's like totally different kinds of music. You know?
That is strange.
I think those people, though, I don't think they would consider themselves, well, they don't put themselves out there like they're these master lyricists and they could actually do like a real hip hop track. So, like, I guess in that aspect, I can respect them for not, like, if you have someone that's like a Post Malone and they're like, oh, I'd kill anybody, like, I'd eat anyone alive, you'd be like, no, you fucking wouldn't.
Like, shut the fuck up.
If you want to talk about doing radio hits, then yeah, cool, you probably, you know, beat a lot of people, but I'm talking, you know, one-on-one, like, battle type shit, you get eaten alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I believe it was 2 Chainz, and he was interviewed about his lyrics, and he said, I suck as a rapper. I'm not a rapper. My lyrics are garbage, but I make hits. And I respect
I was Waka Flocka. I know what you're talking
that was Flocka. That was Waka. Yeah.
Either way, I respect the shit out of that. Like, I'm garbage, but if you'll buy it, I'll do it. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I can't fault anybody. I was definitely used to fall into that as a younger dude, where I was like, you know, real, keep it real type shit. You know, sellouts and this and that. And I'm like, I can't fault anybody for getting their money, man. If people are gonna buy it, sell it. Yeah. The fuck.
Bro, my morals changed so much that once I got a mortgage to pay, I would sell my music to anybody in a fucking heartbeat.
Yeah, dude. I mean, these days, now that I'm a dad, you know, I got a daughter in college. Dude, I would put a fucking shiny suit on and dance next to Mace right now. Because, you know, it's who am I answering to at this point? You know, I'm not a 21-year-old fucking kid.
California girls.
Yeah, I do all that. I'd be doing all that. I'd make jock jams. I'll do all that.
Well, those are the greatest CDs of all time. Jock Jams Volume 2.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Making songs that'll get played when somebody goes up to bat at Shea Stadium.
Yeah. So
as long as they pay you every time they play it, who gives a shit?
Why not, man?
That's such a New York statement.
And everything has its place too. Like, I'm well aware of that. Like, I wouldn't say you go to a club where you're gonna do Molly and you want to try to get your dick sucked with some chick after. You're not gonna be playing Diabolic. I wouldn't recommend you do. It's gonna fucking really throw the vibe off, dude.
I will.
You know?
I will.
Throw on some fucking jingly bullshit, you know?
Bollock, literally in the we just interviewed Ubiquitous, and he brought up the same thing. And I will say the same thing. We have a friend that got kicked out of Atlantic City for getting for trying to get Joe Budden played. And they refused to play him, so he fucking fought with the DJ and got kicked out. So we do stick to our guns. I gotta say that again.
Jersey. Every episode, Jersey.
Every episode, Jersey. No, but you used to like battle freestyle or whatever. How did you never go into did you ever go into Scribble Jam or when the WRCs came about, did you ever think about entering?
I never did Scribble Jam just because it was a fucking hassle to travel there. I wanted to, you know, it definitely crossed my mind a couple times, so I just never made it out. By the time like the WRCs were around, I had stopped battling. I was like, I made a conscious effort where I was like, I got to move on from this shit, or this is all I'm going to do. You know, like battling when I came up wasn't something like, I mean, I liked it. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it. It was fun. But once you get known, it's way less fun. Once you have people following you, they're headhunting you, it's just not nearly as fun anymore. You have this like kind of standard that people make up in their head for you. It stops being fucking fun. And it was supposed to be just a kind of a stepping stone to, you know, kind of get heard and meet people. You know, like you used battle rap, you go on stage, you were rapping to a beat, which helped, but you take that and translate that into putting records out and getting performances and turning it into a music career. Whereas now it's like, it's a different animal now.
It is a career. You can actually make a career doing it now, you know?
Right.
Like, I mean, I don't know the numbers. I'm sure they're kind of inflated, but, you know, you got some battlers saying they make like 10 grand a battle. I don't know how true that is. That
depends on who they are. You got to look at it like anything else. If they're bringing people in the building, they can charge a certain amount.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It would be like anything. It would be like a fucking, you know, Brother Ali does a show that's going to bring 500 people in the door and he's going to sell it out. Brother Ali can charge like $6,000-7,000 for that night. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's the same thing for a battler. If a battler is going to do an event where they're going to get all this pay-per-view money and they're going to bring in 300-400 people in the door to watch live with tickets running $50, $60, $75 fucking dollars, it's a lot of money coming through the door. So you can be like, I'm the draw, so I am the headliner. So you're gonna have to give me, you know. I've heard crazy numbers, but then again, they do try to cheapskate some guys. Some of the leagues, you know, some of the guys that aren't as well known and aren't as big a draw with the views and pay-per-view stuff, you know, they'll get like $1,000, $1,500, but then a guy like fucking Loaded Lux could walk through and get $25,000 fucking dollars. You know?
Yeah. So how did they kind of value somebody before, like today's age, where there's views and followers and stuff? Now it's like, this guy's got 1 million followers. We know how much that'll bring in. How did that happen before all this?
I don't know, because I was on the come up before that. I mean, I guess it would just be what they thought they could bring in the door, really.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, but it was different, man. It was way different, because I'm thinking back, like, the first battle I did, right? There was nobody on the bill. It was just a bunch of fucking nobodies, basically. You know, some relatively known underground heads, but, you know, nothing to really speak of. And dude, there was like 400 fucking people there, packed in, paid to get in. You know, paid $10-15 to get in the door. That was just a random ass Tuesday night or whatever it was. You can't do that anymore. You can't just put a freestyle battle together and get 400 people to come out.
Well, nobody knows how to freestyle. I mean, these young kids probably don't even do it. You know, like you mentioned, you were in ciphers and stuff. I mean, I doubt these up and comers. I mean, when we were in high school, like we said, like you had to prove you could do it. If you were at a party, freestyle, go rap. Now I don't even know if that happens, you know?
I mean, kids probably still do it for fun, but they don't rap the same, man. I listen to I've caught some ciphers with kids rapping at like these, there's like a Tuesday open mic out here when there's not fucking viruses floating around the world, right? So I would pop up and just go check them out and get fucking wasted and watch the kids rap. And it would be like a mixture. It would be like you would get like a mix of some kids trying to rap good, and then the more commercial kind of whatever the fuck you want to call it now, mumble rap type of jingle making bullshit. So it would be a mix, and then I'd listen to the kids cipher outside, and some kids are just trying to spit, but then you'll get other kids jumping in the cipher doing that other shit off the head, which is weird to me. But it was interesting. It was interesting to watch. They were fucking terrible, but it was interesting.
But did you notice what got more of a reaction from the crowd? Was it something that you valued as lyrics, or was it more? The
spitters always got the kids spitting. Still got the response.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's still faith.
I mean, with the performances, it's a mixed up crowd too, though, because you know those type of things. It's a lot of people bringing their friends and. You know, they're kind of, a lot of people know each other in there, so, you know, it's a little different. But I noticed with the ciphers, the spitters got more response. People were more interested. Same as ever.
You were battling.
See it come back around, though, that way. Because I remember, I think it was 2012. I submitted, because me and Scott both used to rap, and I submitted a song I did to Coast Mixtapes, and I got chosen to perform at this club in New York. And it was for like a crowd or whatever, and they voted on who had like the best songs. And I went into it thinking like, okay, well, you gotta go in and rap. So I went in and I had this like 3-minute song, but like I had actual bars on it. Like I had metaphors, I had syllables, everything I was working with. And then I remember towards the end of my performance, like I was kind of getting a reaction. And then the other, like I would say there were like 6 or 7 other dudes that went. And like there was probably about 200 people in this place, and they had the 3 judges that were there. And I lost the thing, whereas I was listening to everyone else, and I'm like, oh, I killed everybody. Like I'm much better than everybody here. And then one of the judges came up to me afterwards, and he was like, yo, you could rap. He's like, but we're not looking for that. We're looking for who can make the crowd dance. Like flat out, that's what he told me. He goes, like, and it was so disheartening to me, because I was like, I thought this is what it was. Yeah. Like growing up, learning it and watching and saying like, wow, I want to be the one to be able to move the crowd like that. And people step back and be like, holy shit, you know, and then to go do it. and then get that response it's like it broke my heart a little bit with it.
And from that day forward, Brian
that's why do you think I'm an underground rapper to this day, man? Yeah. That's exactly why. I played the, go out, try to get a deal. I did that. That's how I ended up on Showtime. That's how I ended up on that stupid fucking show.
I want to ask you about that. Yeah, how'd that happen? Because you were around before the 8 Mile boom happened, right? That's the sort of 8 Mile boom. So like the late 90s you were doing it, and then 8 Mile hit. And at that point you battled, were you like, all right, a door opened, let's go? Was that like your reaction?
At first, then it got fucking crazy. Everything just became battle. It was like really getting cheesy kind of.
Yeah.
Because that's when the MTV battle happened. That's when the corporations started getting their hands on it, which can be good and bad all at once. It can get a lot of money thrown your way, but it can also, pigeonhole you into like a cheesy commercial event like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Where, like the Showtime battle, that was random, dude. It was, how'd that happen? They were stuck for a New York artist, right? And I think they reached out to Technique actually. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I can't do that. I got a record out. I'm like, that's like when he was starting to pop off a little bit, like starting to really get big in the underground. And he's like, I'm not doing that. He's like, let me ask, Diabolic might do it. He's like, yeah, I'll ask him. And he called me up and asked me if I was interested in doing it. I said, all right, I'll try. Let me talk to the dude. This dude, Todd One, who had a terrible record out back in the day, if you look him up. He was a cool guy, though. He was a nice guy. He was a producer for Showtime at the time.
Todd One.
Yeah. He had like one of those kind of cheesy jock jam, like weird records out way back when. You look him up, you'll see what I mean. He called me up and was like, oh, yeah, fucking, we're doing the show. He explained a little bit about it, what it would be. And he was like, you came highly recommended. I hear you battle this, that, and the third. And he's like, when I spit something over the phone, he was like, whoa, all right. 3 days later, a fucking production crew showed up in a van with cameras, getting out of the car with cameras, starting to film me in front of my fucking house. What the fuck is this? It's like, what is going on here? Which is crazy because I didn't fit their mold when I did it. I was already doing shit. Yeah. Like I was in the studio. You don't see it on the fucking show. If you obviously can't even look that show up anymore. But when you watched it, like I was in the studio with Smooth the Hustler and they were filming us. We were doing a record.
Yeah.
And they didn't put any of that on. They cut all that shit out because it made me look too established.
Established, yeah.
Yeah. So they cut all that out. They didn't tell me they didn't tell you who you were battling. They didn't tell you nothing. And then it was fucking very weird, like the event itself, because I killed that girl.
That's what I want to get into, Diabolic. I watched Marv 1 Pat Stay, where Pat Stay lost, I don't know how. I've watched battles for the last 15 years, and 17 years later, that is the biggest hose job in a battle I've ever fucking seen.
Dude, I bodied her.
Yes.
Like,
I got in an argument with my friend Albert I remember leaving because we watched it. It was like a Saturday night, and you had this one line, you couldn't spit tight shit if your ass had vice grips or something like that, I remember. And you murdered her, and I was like, what the fuck were the judges thinking?
Well, this is the thing, right? This was funny because it was kind of a setup. It was kind of a setup. Like they had a plan. They didn't expect me to do that. They didn't expect me to be good. They didn't expect me to fucking rip her like that. So they were trying we both got X amount of people that were allowed to come with us. And then they had a small crowd surrounding. It wasn't that big. There was probably 75, 100 people around us to make it look like that, right? And then it was crowd judged. And it was mad even. Like the crowds were just both yelling, And the fucking producer, this lady Jillian Fleer, who's a fucking kook, she holds up a sign for Dougie Fresh to say that the girl won.
Wow.
For him to read, she held it up from behind. They had this little tent with all the soundboards and the production shit. It was pretty fucking funny. It was kind
Did
of a
you
setup.
see
But
the
they offered
sign?
me yeah. You can see it.
It's
What
like
I'm saying, it was right there.
Who's more surprised
I
though?
was like, what the fuck? And
Who was more surprised, you or the girl? Was she like, I won? Are you fucking
well, she
kidding
knew
me?
who I was.
Oh,
She knew who I was. She used to go to EOW, end of the week. They all know me over there. Like, when they found out she was battling me, all of them were like, oh, fuck. They knew who I was. They were like, oh, Jesus Christ. This is who they bring out, right?
Yeah.
And fucking... But they offered me another show that I turned down. They wanted me to go around the country and battle random people.
Ew.
Yeah.
Like just random people in
like,
random hoods and shit. Like they basically are, hey,
You're in
white
Nebraska.
guy, we want to bring you to random ghettos around the fucking country and have you battle the black people.
We'll be
That's
back.
basically
We'll be
what they were
back
trying
in
to do.
10 minutes. We'll just drop you off.
Right. That's,
The
because I
roughest
battled
areas
that
in
one kid
America.
on the Staten Island ferry. So they saw I wasn't scared to battle. I battled that one kid. I murked him too. And fucking, I was like, that's fucking corny. I'm good. I'm good on all.
That might be the most dangerous job you could do. Let's drop you off in the worst areas in America and talk shit to random strangers.
I mean, it would have been interesting, but it's like,
Oh yeah,
it's just kind of corny. You know what I mean? It's almost like, you know, they want you to become fucking Simon Rex or something, you know?
Yeah.
Go out there and act like a fucking dick. We're going to dress you up in silly outfits, you know?
Well,
That's
you
what
don't
it's
have to
gonna
say
be.
how. You don't have to say how much, but would the money have been good? Would it have been worth it? Would they cover, like, how would it go? You on a tour bus, they flying you out?
I don't know. This shit was pretty low budget from what I saw. I got $500 for that show.
Jeez.
Not that we were supposed to get paid. They just sent us like they sent me in the mail like a $500 check randomly. Like we weren't supposed to get paid. We all signed a fucking horrible record deal, which they tried. It was an Interscope record deal. It was horrible.
Yeah. I
Horrible
remember.
deal.
Didn't Spitfire win that? If I recall, Spitfire.
He did
Right?
from LA.
Yeah.
I wonder whatever happened to him. I've looked for him on the internet. I never found him though.
That's never a good sign.
Yeah.
Maybe they offered him the show and
He battle rapped in the wrong area.
Yeah.
You know who else? Nestle was on there.
Yeah.
Nestle was on there. Yeah.
Good.
And what's his name? Quest McCody.
Quest McCody, yeah, he's still around. He battled in the WRCs.
They did have some legit talent on there.
Yeah.
Spitfire was cool. Me and him got fucking wasted out at LA at the release party. Because I took the $500 and I bought a couple flights with it. Me and Poison Pen went out there. And fucking, I got fucking drunk as shit with Kid from Kid and Play at the party.
Wow.
He was like a fan. He was like, yo, he came up to me and he was like, he had a bald head now, shaved his eraser head off. He was like, he's a producer for Showtime. That's what he does now. And he comes up and he's like, yo, whatever you do, don't let these motherfuckers change you. That's what he says to me. He's getting hammered. He's fucking wasted, you know? And he's like, don't let them change you. He's like, I'm telling you, you're nice as fuck. They're going to try to change you. Get the fuck out of here as fast as you can.
Get out of here.
He's like, just get out of here. You'll be fine. Trust me.
They're going to try to put you in House Party 6. You need to leave.
I would have done that shit. If he was like, yo, you want to do House Party 6? I'd be like, hell fucking yes. Let's do it.
Little thing, Class Act was a better movie than all the house parties. Just throw it
I like
out there.
but Class Act's one of my favorites.
Class Act is phenomenal. Blade Brown, fucking
Duncan Hinderhughes and
hey,
shit.
Pinder
Love
Piss. Yeah, phenomenal movie. So
Love it.
underrated. So fucking under. Eric, you ever see that?
Hell yeah, it's my
Didn't
favorite.
expect to be called out, but no.
You gotta get yourself baked tonight and watch Class
I got a
Act.
to-do list tonight.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, but
gotta-
so, I know we're skipping. I know we're gonna skip some time here, like so, because I know you released a couple albums. I don't know if you want to touch on it. I actually posted your diss to Talib Kweli back like 4 years ago, and I feel like you've been the ambassador for like white rappers who kind of get shit on for like taking advantage or being culture vultures. And like, how did Talib Kweli and you, and I know Don Cheadle got involved too, and you were like, yeah, you go. I loved you in Traffic, but stay the fuck out of it or something like that.
I look like
I
Don
posted
Cheadle.
this
I'm told.
fucking music video. One of the first appearances from Don Cheadle was in this cheese dick 80s music video. He's dancing around. He's like this. He's in this silly outfit, bobbing and fucking weaving. It's funny as fuck. I was like, hey, Don, some of your finest work. It was funny. Nah, you know what it is, dude? like I didn't intend to be some ambassador for white rappers because I don't even like that shit where people are like, top 5 white rappers. I'm like, ugh.
I saw you address that on your I saw you address that on your Instagram, and you go into it. You're like, I don't know. Oh. What if I said top 5 Mexican rappers, Puerto Rico?
Yeah, it would be fucking weird and awkward. The conversation would get fucking strange.
And then I think someone
Chinese rappers. I'm like, what?
I think then someone asked you, someone asked Diabolic, they go, would you go gay for $5,000? And he goes, no, that's not nearly enough money. Absolutely not.
No way. It's not nearly enough. Fucking, no, it's like, see, I traveled in those fucking activist circles for a lot of years with Technique, dude, for like fucking 10 years. Dude, I can't count the amount of like community outreach shit we did. And I mean, I never asked for credit for it. I didn't even post about it. You know, like we did fucking free shows all over the goddamn world for everything from fucking, you know, like immigration reform to fucking police brutality, everything. We did fucking everything. And I got a real close glimpse into the world of the leftists, which is fucking disgusting because it's fucking bullshit. That whole shit is fucking crazy to me. And a guy like Kweli, right? Kweli grew up pretty well. His life was not hard. So for me to sit here and listen to him berate people all day, it's hard for me to stomach that shit because I know you better than that. I know who you are. You used to fuck the same girl as my friend Abe. For a guy who got me into the first battle, used to bang this fucking Jewish chick from Brooklyn that Kweli used to bang, and she used to complain about how he had stinky breath. He's a fucking private school fucking dork. Fucking my homie Post's mom was his dad's secretary at CW Post University.
I know CW Post. That's funny.
He's a professor there. I'm not going to sit here and listen to you talk about you know, all the fucking hardships you fucking weathered because you haven't. But regardless, I wasn't a big Twitter guy before Kweli, right? Really, what happened with Kweli was fucking. I was over at my son's mom's house when she was on after one of her stints in rehab. She had to fucking work, and she had him for the weekend, so I came out there to watch him for the day. So it's a fucking Tuesday morning. It's like 9 o'clock. I'm sitting outside drinking coffee. I'm in my fucking basketball shorts. I'm fucking just scrolling through Twitter, and I'm reading what he's saying. And that day, he was like, I guess he was talking shit to Remedy, the white dude, like Wu-Tang affiliate. And he's doing what Kweli does. You know, you know what Kweli does on Twitter. He's a fucking maniac. I wasn't aware of that. I didn't know. I didn't know that's what he does. I just thought he was just going fucking nuts. So I asked him a question first. The first thing I said was like, why do you go at like all these fucking people like that? And he immediately like gave me some fucking wise ass because I fucking feel like he starts talking shit to me. And I was like, all right, buddy. I was like, no doubt, cool. And I let it go. Came back a couple hours later, read more that I'm attached to because now I'm attached to this fucking thread. And then I just said something like, yeah, I've been watching this shit all day. I was like, you're full of shit. You need to check yourself. Then he started calling me a bitch and a fucking fuckboy, whatever the fuck he said. He said a whole bunch of, he was calling me names and shit. And I was like, oh boy. I was like, yeah, you should watch your fucking mouth, bro. Meanwhile, Technique and them, mind you, a couple months prior, had just gotten off a tour with Kweli that I wasn't on. And Kweli was pussy. Like it was a violent tour. They got into a few scraps on this tour. Kweli was mad scared of how they behaved themselves. And so I said it to him. I was like, hey, you better watch your fucking mouth, bro. I was like, I understand this is Twitter, but you just came off tour with my friends. I was like, I'll fuck you up, you know? And that's how I left it. Then he started going, you know, he did what Kweli does. He just started going fucking crazy. And then I got into it with him and just started saying, all the shit you're talking is bullshit. White privilege. Well, white privilege was invented. See, this is what he didn't understand is I do my homework. I know a lot about politics and all this shit. Right. White privilege, for example, right? White privilege was invented, the sociological theory of white privilege was invented by Peggy fucking McIntosh, who's a white lady who looks like Elizabeth Warren. She's a Marxist professor at Wellesley University. It was invented in 1989 in a women's studies class. I'm not going to fucking cop to that. I'm not gonna listen to this fucking old hag tell me what I'm supposed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a very convenient theory for people who want to play the fucking victim all day on the internet. Because in reality, what is it? It's not a tangible thing. It's nothing anybody can work on. It's just something for other people to end conversations with. You're white. You have white privilege. You have to bow to me. That's what it becomes. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those guys who's going to break to that kind of bullshit. I don't give a fuck if you call me a Nazi or a racist. Doesn't matter. I'm the one who has to be comfortable in my skin. I'm comfortable to know that none of that shit's true. I don't got to listen to this fucking goof. I don't care what it would, but Twitter is going to make me fucking coward to get the fuck out of here.
I always say that the more you defend yourself, the more guilty you look. So if someone like calls you that, and you know what, if that's what you think about me, I'm not going to sit here and defend myself because it makes you look worse. You know, just you are.
Fucking laugh at you. That's why I would just mock them.
I have to say, I actually have a lot of Talib Kweli's albums. I am a fan of him. I like when Jean Grey's on his songs. So, like, I do like his music. But, like, I will say your diss track, Inequality, the Vultures line circling over, murdered him. You beat him. It is what it is.
I fucking destroyed him.
Yeah,
he didn't know what he stepped in dog shit. I tried not to even do that. I tried to let it go.
Yeah.
I tried to let it live. I was like, all right, man, you're a fucking fag. I'm going to go now. But, you know, he kept going. He kept going. He kept going.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, you know what? And you notice, he didn't start with that Nazi racist talk until after the diss track.
That's what happens. Yeah, I saw that.
He never said that before.
Yeah.
He never made that he never made a comment about it. He never made a word. If people go back to the timeline of it, it was after I fucking bodied him and everybody started clowning him for it.
Yeah.
That's when he started being like, you're a Nazi, you're a racist.
Yeah, shit like that is like last resort. Like when you know you got beat and there's nothing you could do to come back.
Dude, if there was that many Nazis and racists running around this fucking country, we'd be in a real fucking shitstorm right now. This is where I fall out of fucking. I can't rock with hardcore leftist political types of. I just can't rock with them, bro. They're fucking crazy, bro. They're insane. When they don't have Nazis and racists, they create them because they need them for their idea. Their ideology can't work without them. So they create them. It's like the fucking what's that fucking group of guys? That fucking guy, Gavin McInnes, the Proud Boys.
No, Gavin McInnes.
You ever heard of them?
I know the name. I don't know the
right. Yeah. Dude, they're a bunch of fucking dudes who get fucked up together and started beating up Antifa guys. All of a sudden, they call them white supremacists. They're not white supremacists, dude. Half those guys are black.
Yeah.
They're black wives and shit. The white guy. It's fucking ridiculous.
It's like I would say they need the enemies. Yeah, they need the boogeyman, like Eric said. Right. When you compare like someone to a Nazi or Hitler, do you understand like how crazy that is? Like Hitler is the worst person possibly to ever be on the planet Earth, who killed 6 million Jews. Like to compare somebody like let's say Mike Pence, who I'm not a fan of, right? I'm not a fan of Mike Pence. Oh, he's Hitler. It's like, no, he's not. No, he's not Hitler. Like, are you
even Trump? Like, what has Trump done that makes him Hitler?
Like, he might be an asshole. He might be an asshole. He might be a piece of shit, but he's not Hitler. Like, come on, man.
He held the Bible in that photo just like Hitler did.
Yeah.
That's what they say, right?
Yeah.
That's not even real, though.
No.
The Hitler one wasn't real.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I looked it up. I was reading about it. It was Photoshop. It's not real.
Jeez.
Hitler was holding his fucking book.
Yeah, it's silly shit, though. It's like crazy.
People
go nuts about it.
We had a protest. We had someone, V-Script, shout out to him, who came on after the LA protest. And then he put us in his story, and he said he came on a conservative right-leaning podcast. And I've been defending that, saying, no, we're not. I'm going to have a hard time defending that after this episode, Diabolic. I'm going to have a really hard time.
That's crazy, because, like, think about what we just said.
It's nothing crazy.
We didn't say anything. We're just like,
but
Trump's not Hitler, guys. You know, like, what...
In today's,
what the fuck? That's how crazy it is.
In today's environment, though, if you say what you said about the left, you also have to say something about the right to consider yourself.
No, I don't, because the right's
it's
negotiable.
Kind of crazy. Like I think the left and the right.
This is where people lose me with that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Leftists can't be negotiated with. Right wingers can be negotiated with. They'll talk to you. They will. Hardcore right wing guys will sit there and chat with you. They'll sit there and lay out their fucking points about like fucking, they'll be like, yeah, MAGA, all that shit. But they will fucking sit there and fucking debate with you. You go with the leftists, they're just going to call you a fucking Nazi. They're going to be like, you're a racist. They're just going to yell at you and fucking try to like call your job. It's insane.
Boy, I would love to have you.
Crazy people.
I would love to have you and Disaster on at the same time. Oh my God.
It'd be fucking great.
It would be the greatest episode ever. Seeing Disaster's timeline today, where he was just talking, not to bring him up.
It's a weird fucking time in the world when Diabolic and Disaster are getting viewed as right wingers.
Right. Yeah, that is kind of strange.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's because things have swung so far to the left. You got a bunch of fucking maniacs calling the shots right now.
Right.
I don't want to live in their world. I'm not down with all that shit. It's like it's okay to, I don't know. It's like, I saw something the other day. One of these NBC fucking news people are interviewing some lady at one of these protests, and some fucking dude dressed up. He's like a fucking trans guy, I guess. I don't know. He's in fucking pink underpants and a pink bra. Runs up on them to attack them. And you got people defending that guy.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yo, this is not the world for me, bro. This is not the world for me. Now I'm supposed to tiptoe around hate speech, and what the fuck are we talking about? Is this America? Like, they want to take the guns away, right? They want the government to have all the guns. But they're also talking about the government has Hitler running. None of it makes any fucking sense. Trump's Hitler, but you want to take the guns away and give him all the guns.
Bollock, our friend Eric here moved out to Oregon, and he experienced a whole different type of
I've said that so many times. Like, let's say Trump, whether you love him or hate him, if he was a quarter as bad as people said when he was running, right? He wants to send blacks back to Africa, which is like a direct quote that people were saying. He wants to find all the.
When did he do it?
Like, you couldn't like. I could see them saying, all right, he wants to round up.
When did that happen?
Like, he wants to round up illegal immigrants and send them back. Okay, that could be its own battle.
That's not even possible, dude.
But to find black American citizens, say we're going to send you back to Africa, like that would never happen. But like
no, it can't happen. It's not even constitutional. You couldn't get that shit past a fucking district court in fucking Long Island. That's not gonna fly, dude.
But people thought that, right? People were thinking that, and now they want to get rid of gays and trans. But I was like, if he was a quarter as bad as he was expected to be,
didn't Donald Trump? Isn't he the first Republican candidate to hold up a fucking the rainbow flag and wrap himself up?
He actually was the first Republican to have a gay man speak at the Republican National Convention too.
Yeah.
So like there's it is.
Yeah, but my point is, if he was a quarter as bad as people thought that some people thought that he would be, you would be looking to people with guns to say, hey, you're not going to send our friend Albert, who's black, you're not going to send him to fucking Africa. You know what I mean? Like that, you'd be looking for those type of people. So I thought
that's not going to happen, dude.
Yeah, I thought
like Trump going to let that happen.
I thought Trump being president would give more faith in the Second Amendment, but it has not for whatever reason. For the same people that just
I'll tell you what,
it's kind of crazy.
The COVID stuff definitely gave more faith in the Second Amendment. Guns are sold out over here.
Oh yeah, I went with my uncle to get one, and I was like, "Have you guys been busy?" Like, first of all, it was weird going to a gun shop. I had sunglasses on. I put my mask on. My uncle's like, "You guys?" Like, yeah. And we ran up these stairs. Like, all right, we opened the door. These dudes are holding like AR-15s with masks on, just looking at us. I'm like, this is a fucking weird. This whole vibe is weird. And I asked them. Like, we eventually got in. There was like 2 people at a time. And I said, "Have you guys been super busy or no?" Because the company goes, "We can't keep guns in the store." And my uncle got a gun, and he was like, "It's gonna be 2 weeks until we get this shit shipped." Because, and he goes,
"Dude, up the block from me, right here, like four. You got 4 houses and then a main road right there. Yeah. At the end of my block is a gun store. It's called Campsite. It's got like it's got all kinds of shit, fishing gear. It's a small spot. It's been there forever. But dude, the only thing left in that fucking store is handguns because they're hard to get in New York.
Yeah.
And real high-end rifles." Yeah. High end. You're talking, a $1,700 tactical shotgun still there. Yeah. A $2,000 hunting rifle still there. But anything lower end, like a lower end shotgun, $500, they're all gone.
They're gone.
Ammo's out. They can't keep up with what they're trying to sell. There's people waiting outside on lines every fucking day.
Yeah, even Joe Rogan, he had a podcast with a pro Second Amendment guy, and he was like, the same guys a year ago, 5 months ago, that I was fighting about the Second Amendment, like, we don't need that. And they're saying, or they're saying, we don't need that. And he's saying, I use it to hunt. I use it to protect my family, blah, blah, blah. And they're saying, you don't need that. Melts them all down. And he goes, are the same people texting and emailing him, how do I go about this?
Yeah.
What are the steps? What do I do? And it's like, I appreciate, like, they should go get it, but I would appreciate it if you said, sorry, like, I'm the right-wing scumbag because I wanted a gun, like, but he's a nice guy, and he's like, this is how you do it, blah, blah, blah. But, like, you don't need it until you need it. And I also heard a theory that America's been asleep since World War II. Like, we've had it fucking good for 70, 80 years.
That's a lot of this weird shit that's going on, dude. And when I talk about these leftist kids, like, I can't even fucking blame them, dude. A lot of it's people that want to be a part of something bigger than them. And we, you know, I'm not a religious guy. I'm not a big religious guy. But the lack of religion and shit in this country to be a part of, because we got a lot of nihilistic, kind of atheist shit going on, especially in the social media era. It's left a lot of people looking for something to be a part of, and I swear that's how, like, all the identity politics works. Because they start boxing these people up. They box up black people, they box up Latinos, they box up gay people, they box up trans. They put you in this category that you can identify with and be part of this movement. They're out to get you. That's what they'll tell you. They're out to get you. They're going to take you. They're going to fuck you over. They're going to shoot you, round you up, whatever. Even though it's not true. It's clearly not true. Nobody's out here rounding up gay people. Nobody's rounding up black people. You want to work on the fucking cops? There are practical solutions to these fucking things. There are. And we've been talking about it for 20 fucking years. I've been doing events about that shit since 01, 02. Nobody was listening then. Now it's become fashionable. You know, they give them a fucking boogeyman in the White House to worry about. They blame. It's funny. I look at these guys. I look at a lot of my friends, even guys I came up with.
A lot of battlers even tweet about it. A lot of rappers tweet about it. So, like, I was gonna ask, like, you're in the minority when it comes to that shit. Like, how? Yeah,
they're also fucking retards and don't know what they're talking about. I'll be honest with you. I watch a lot. Me and Gazas talk about it, and it's like they're just fucking. It's a trend, bro. Something I learned about hip hop a long time ago, like the hip hop culture, quote unquote, is that it's the biggest bunch of trend whores you've ever seen in your life, bro.
Yeah.
Whether it's fucking how you dress, the sneakers you buy, the fucking. They jump from dick to dick real fucking fast. So what's acceptable is what's going to be spoken, whether you believe it or not. I'm not going to get into names, but you'd be blown away by some of the people who inbox me like, yo, I wish I could say the shit you're willing to say. It's interesting. It's just not acceptable. Some people don't want to take the heat, you know?
Yeah, no,
think about it. You could say the slightest thing. What did we say? Trump's not Hitler. And now you're a conservative right-wing podcast.
Bro, if I ever got famous from this, like, we're minuscule, let's be honest, but, like, I mean, it's gaining a little traction, and I'm fucked. Like, I know I am, just because of stuff I might have said 12 years ago. And it sucks.
Gives a fuck, dude.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's just, I know that it's just gonna happen, and you just gotta sit there and fucking take the shit.
This shit will pass, my man. They're currently in the midst of eating themselves alive as we speak, bro. They're starting to go after their own.
Go on, bro.
I was gonna say, all you have to do when something like that comes up, you weather the storm for a fucking day, and then somebody does some shit tomorrow,
and never apologize.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Never apologize.
Under any circumstances, apologize for anything you say. Never. Yeah. The second you fucking bow to anybody any circumstances, it's over. They're never gonna stop, dude.
Yeah.
But live by your words. Be like, fuck you, dude. That was 10 years ago. I don't give a fuck. You know, it's like, the fuck out of here, dude. Do it, Rogan and fight. What did Joey Diaz say about the shit he was saying? He's like, get the fuck out of here. You know, I'm not apologizing.
Yeah, I think he told everyone to go fuck themselves and suck his dick.
He came on IG Live and he did like 26 minutes and he opened up. He's like, I said it fucking years ago. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's not lying. He's telling the truth about how shit goes.
You said something like on your IG Live the other day, where you said someone said something about like you saying retard, and you were like, I'm never gonna stop saying the word retard until a bunch of retards come up to me and start protesting about it. Because here's what I feel is going on, man. There's a lot of, and we had this conversation earlier, there's a lot of people who feel bad for other people. It's not necessarily black people who want things banned. Like we mentioned, a Golden Girls episode got pulled from Hulu recently, right? Because there's an episode where they're having facials done and it looks like blackface, right? And they pulled the episode, and there's black people on Twitter who are like, this is insulting. We know the difference between a facial and blackface. Please put the episode back on. But it's,
dude, I refer to it all the fucking time. Malcolm X, read and listen to what he said about the white liberal. Watch, beware of the fucking white liberal, bro. They are the biggest shit-stirring, busybody troublemakers of them all. They are nobody's fucking friend. They co-opt issues to use for power. That's it. The Nancy Pelosi's of the world, you got to watch those fucking people. You got to watch them. They're dangerous. Malcolm X said it. He said it himself. He said, beware the white liberal. Go read, go look at what he said about the white liberals, bro. They're the fucking worst, man.
A lot of them are just...
Leave people alone, man. Just leave people alone.
Yeah, it's just white guys, like, I feel like in corporations of power, cowering and just, like, pandering. You know, it's a lot of pandering. Like, they don't mean it. They don't give a shit about you. Like, they're just part of what's going on right now.
And they shouldn't. Guys. They shouldn't have to. I don't even blame them for not giving a fuck. Because I don't give a fuck. I care about me and my friends and my family, people I get cool with. I don't give a fuck what race they are. I'm not going to sit here and crusade for everybody because those people might be dicks. You know, if somebody asks me for my help that I respect, I'll give them my fucking help. Whether I believe in what they're doing or not, I'll have their back. I don't agree with technique on politics. I never did. I used to clown him for being a communist. And fucking, but I had his back.
Right, your friend.
He was my fucking friend.
Absolutely.
I love you.
That's how it should be.
Keep you in check too a little bit. You know, I figured maybe me being a little more over here will fucking help keep you a little honest. But it's like, I always thought, you know, we'll grow up a little bit. Yeah, I figure we'll figure it out as we go. You know, I'm not looking for some communist revolution though.
Yeah.
You know, I was never into it. I never associated revolutionary with communist revolutionary. You know what I mean? A lot of people did though. A lot of people did. They think it's a hardcore leftist movement. Whereas like politically, I don't think the solution to problems in government is more government. I think it's way less, like 90% less. That's like if people say, oh, what are you, a libertarian? I don't know. I'm a less government, less of it. It's a fucking problem, and everything it touches, it breaks. Get it the fuck out of my life. People policing speech on the internet, that's not the solution to anything. It's not. Let people say racist shit. Who gives a fuck? We're all going to clown them. They're gonna get fucking mocked. You might change their minds. Who knows?
It's like when the KKK showed up with that pickup truck to the rally. They're idiots. They're dickheads. You know.
They're gonna get beat up.
Exactly.
They're also gonna get the shit kicked out of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's like I read this study. Right. See, this is the difference. Like, it's weird. It was like a study on race, and like a lot of races, other than white people, they do identify their race as a bigger part of who they are than white people, whereas they say only like 15% of white people identify their race as part of who they are on a daily basis. And only 5% of those 15% identify a lot. White people don't associate that. Like where, you know, if a white dude gets, you know, beat up by the cops, I don't associate with him. I don't automatically associate with him because he's some white guy. He might look like me. Doesn't associate with me. It doesn't identify with me because I don't know who the fuck that guy is or what he did. I don't care. Whereas other races, because of the history that's constantly thrown at people, constantly, every 2 years. You got midterms and you got fucking presidential elections. Every couple of years, it's fucking stirred up like a fucking shitstorm and thrown in your face, and you're reminded of shit that you never lived through. But they want to remind you to be scared that it happened. Be scared of this. Be scared of this. So people take that identity, and it kind of goes off the fucking rails sometimes. It's being used against all of us. People think it doesn't affect you if you're white. That doesn't affect you. Sure it does. You've been on the internet lately? You've been outside lately? You see what's going on? It affects fucking everybody. You think I don't got black friends? I got my son's part black. My daughter's half Latina. It doesn't affect me? How does it not affect me? Of course it affects me. It's like you guys aren't bringing up practical solutions. You're just burning down the fucking neighborhood. You know, it's like you want to talk about grown-up things, I'm down to talk. But the second it starts getting silly and it's eat the rich and we turn it into a Marxist takeover and we're like, it goes from police brutality against black people to gay rights. You're going to fucking lose me. I'm sorry. You're going to fucking lose me. when you co-opt the movements, it's kind of silly. It's a big, deep problem. We probably don't want to go into it on here, but I don't know.
Maybe another episode. I actually wanted to get into the Just Allah beef if you want to delve into that after 25 after 25 minutes of that. That was great though, man. No.
Just Allah beef.
That was great. That was great though. I think Eric here on the left.
Awesome transition, man.
I consider myself in the middle because I have very far left, very far right friends, and I think both of them are nuts. And I just consider, like, what's the issue? I want to hear about it, even though it may fall into this, like abortion. Yeah, have an abortion. 9 months, no abortion. 9 months pregnant, no abortion.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
That's what I mean. Like, everything should be thought of that way.
Right.
If you should have a gun. And when I took my Utah concealed carry course, they said in Utah you're allowed to have a grenade launcher as long as it's concealed. I think that's a little far.
How could you conceal a grenade launcher?
The guy literally said it's like an RPG going down your back and you got a trench coat. I go, all right, maybe that. I mean, that's a little much for me. You know,
it's not very necessary.
It's not
when are you gonna need a grenade launcher?
No, you could maybe you could have one in your home.
You parked in my fucking spot.
Well, you're at Walmart and like, did you cut me, bitch? And you're like,
yeah, it's not a practical weapon.
It's not.
That's
if a guy walks up, give me your wallet. You're just like, it's me and you both. If you don't get the fuck out of it,
that would be pretty fucking crazy. I would be. I'd like to see that.
If you were 300 yards away and saw a mugging and a guy pulled out RPG and shot each other, that would be.
I think when weapons are cheat codes in GTA, you have a problem. Start to have a problem.
But that's what I'm saying. I look.
I mean, ideally, they're really the reason we have that right is in case the government gets out of fucking control.
Yeah.
So I get being able to have those because if the government gets out of control, you might want one of those. Right. You know, it could come in fucking handy. You might need a fucking rocket launcher. Who fucking knows?
Yeah.
But for home defense and shit like that. Like, I mean, I'm not a big gun guy, but I'm like, leave people the fuck alone with their guns.
That's how I am. Yeah. Yep.
I understand the point. I mean, I have a couple guns just in case, but I'm not a big fucking gun guy. Plus, it's hard to be in New York. It's a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Getting a pistol out here, it'll take me 6 months. It's ridiculous. And fucking, but, like, I'm like a leftist when it comes to war. I'm like a fucking far leftist when it comes to being anti-war. Yes. That's a last resort in my eyes.
Yeah.
Like all this imperial kind of bullshit, like, let's go get, starting wars over nothing and taking the opium and the oil and kind of, we've been in a fucking 20-year fucking war. I've been opposed to it the whole time. I'm a total leftist when it comes to that shit. But then again, I'm like a fucking right winger when it comes to guns.
Yeah, but you're
way the fuck over on the right,
You're in touch with your original thoughts. Like when you're asleep or you're about to go to sleep, you're walking around, you're thinking, what do I think? And I'm in touch with that a lot. But a lot of people like to think I am either A or B, and I'm going all in on either one. And it's just like, what the fuck? Do you believe that? It's just too much.
That's the
culture. The abortion thing. Abortion gets weird, too. Abortion gets fucking weird because it's like, it's very immoral. It is. And I don't care what anybody says. It's not a moral thing to do. But at the same time, it's something that exists, and it's like, I don't know, man. That's a tricky one. That's a tricky one with all that stuff, because I get the religious people where they're like, nah, fuck that. That's fucked up. Because it is kind of fucked up. I mean, people I know that went through it, it's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
But you also, that's the thing. I also think, all right, people are going to do back alley abortions and the mother and the kid would die as well.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
It's still someone's right to choose, though,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They're the ones going through it.
And that's how I feel. Like, if you want to kill,
I don't know. Like, see, I don't know if that's true though. I think that might be something we created. I'm not sure about that. It's hard for me to have a stance on it because I've taken responsibility for my kids. And if I was 20 years old, I'd probably feel differently. But once I had kids, I was like, this ain't so bad. You know what I mean? So it's like.
But when people are super far with it, where like they've been raped and they're 16. Like I know a girl
See, that type of shit, it's kind of tough, man.
This girl, she was a teenager and she lost her virginity when she was walking down the street and a van full of guys. It was like a gang rape initiation, and that's how she lost her virginity. So if she were to get pregnant, like, would you really tell her to keep it? That's my like, fucking get rid of that shit, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. That sucks.
Yeah.
But then again, you could be fucking aborting Einstein.
True.
I never.
You know what I mean? You could be
looked at it
aborting
that
the
way.
guy who cures fucking cancer right there.
Could you imagine
It
the
could have just been part of the fucking plan for all we know. That's where I'm like, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I've never really figured anything.
That's why I'm happy to be a guy and say this is a woman's issue. Like, I don't want to fucking get into it. I don't really.
Yeah, I pull out, dude. That's what I do. Just like, fuck it. I'm gonna pull out.
Diabolic, can we go into the just a
Let's
lot?
go into some hip hop. We got
Yeah.
Dude, I will.
Such a polarized political.
I will
world. Let's talk about
honestly.
hip hop.
I'm gonna get a beer.
We will. I want to get you on again. We can talk about this shit all fucking night because it is mesmerizing. I love how you hip hop guys.
Yeah, me and Bless. We'll talk about politics and him being a short Puerto Rican.
All right, that works. And how he always has to have a fucking dark visual and never shows his.
Every single time.
Infuriating.
He never wants to show his good looks off, huh?
It's absolutely infuriating because the guy who's insulting me doesn't even show his face the whole fucking episode. All right, so let's get into the Just the Lobby because it was a year ago. How did this come about?
I was cool with Just, man. He's like, Just Allah's a fucking goofy guy, though. He's he's a nutcase. He's like bipolar kind of or something. I'm no doctor or anything, but something along those lines. And fucking, I don't know. He was like, he had been talking shit about guys I'm friends with for like a couple years at that point, from Vinny to Apathy to Esoteric to Reef. He talked shit about Reef's autistic son.
Wow. Reef the Lost Cause you're talking about?
Yeah. Like, that's what
let me just ask one.
I said that. I said in the diss track where I was like, won't go to Philly shows because he knows Reef will rock his shit. That's what I'm talking about. He won't show his face no more. Fucking, he had been talking mad shit. I don't know what it was. Then this kid, Jack Tripper? You know who that is? He battles Jack Progresso.
I don't. Sorry, not off the top of my head.
All right, well, he's an underground dude. He's a guy I've known for years. He's from out here. Him and Just were working on a project together, and fucking Just pulled his typical bipolar shit one day, and started snapping on Jack, and was talking shit about Jack on the internet. And I just kind of got fed up with Just, and I was like, "Yo, you're a fucking clown." And then he made a post on fucking Facebook about how I'm a fucking clown, this and that. I said, all right. So I was just kind of trolling him at that point on the internet. I was just making fun of him and fucking teasing him. I would DM him and like make fun of him and shit. I was trolling the shit out of him at that point. And then, what's his name? Fucking the battle rapper, Corey Sharon. Sharon popped up and was like, oh, you guys should do it. He popped up on one of the fucking Facebook feeds. He's friends with us on the internet.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, you guys should just battle on KOTD. And I was like, sure, I'll do it for nothing. So he added fucking Organic, and Organic was trying to put it together. But Organic was like, I said, yeah, I'll do it for nothing. They did that Boston event, I think Massacre, whatever number it was, when it was around that time. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Just was like, oh, I need money, this and that. I could have got him like $2,000 to do it. And fucking, he's not making any money doing anything else. So I was like, yeah, I'll get you $2,000. I'll do it for nothing. I'll fucking destroy you. It would be a good way for me to get back into the battle shit. They're always asking me to do it. I was like, I'll fucking annihilate you, dude. And he wouldn't fucking, he wouldn't like really come to an agreement. And Organic was afraid because of his reputation that he wouldn't show, so it just kind of fell through.
Yeah.
Then Just released his whack-ass diss track.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It just wasn't.
Yeah, and then I went to the studio that day. I heard it, and I laughed. So I wrote my shit, went in that night, recorded it, and put it out the next day.
You said some shit about Lord Jamar, too. He's been listening to Lord Jamar and his corny bars.
Yeah.
So, no, it was... But I agree with. Listen, you might not agree with this, Bollock. Like, I'm not as delved into the hip hop scene as you are, obviously. But I kind of agree with Lord Jamar in a sense. Like, do you feel as a white person you are a guest or no?
No.
No, you don't at all.
No.
Like, you just feel like I can rap. Fuck it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nobody gave me permission to do anything. Why would I feel like a guest?
I don't know. I just feel like some of the stuff he said kind of, I don't know, resonated a bit.
I understand.
I mean, let me ask you a question.
Yeah, go on.
Was Lord Jamar there when they invented hip hop?
No.
Okay, so why does Lord Jamar? Let me ask you a question. Now, a white guy invented basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so is LeBron James a guest in basketball?
That's fair. Okay.
Now let me ask you another question.
30 seconds, you changed my mind.
Do I get to take some kind of credit for basketball because that white guy invented it?
No.
Because I didn't do shit.
Yeah.
Right. So Lord Jamar's no gatekeeper to me because I'm white. Am I a gatekeeper to Lord Jamar in, I don't know, anything? No.
All right.
Yeah.
Who the fuck am I? Unless I'm working the fucking door at a fucking bar, I'm not gatekeeping shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
at this
make
point,
no
how it
mistake
talks
about
about
it. When hip hop started, it was primarily black people.
Mm-hmm.
There was Latinos there. There were white people involved.
Beastie Boys.
Like, there was white people back then. White people lived in the Bronx. I don't know if you know that. But that, graffiti culture, there was no white graffiti writers. Really? There was no white breakdancers? No white DJs?
Just swastikas, bro.
Yeah, I guess, it's like Lord Jamar, he is a real revisionist version of history.
Right,
yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't like him simply because he talks about Eminem. He can't stop talking about Eminem like it's an ex of his. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, and you know what else? Like, he just can't stop. Like, I saw an interview with him, and he was talking about, he's like, oh, the guy goes, yeah, Eminem's got a song about you. He goes, oh, my stepdad, because I fucked his mother. And it's just like, it was kind of funny, but my delivery was much better than his, whatever. But it was just really bad. Like, it was just like, dude, let it go.
No, I can't lie, though. I can't lie. I am very entertained by Lord Jamar, though. I'm highly entertained by the shit he talks. I get a kick out of it. I laugh. But it's bullshit. It's nonsense. It's not words to live by. It's fucking silly shit to argue about on Twitter. It's nonsense.
Yeah.
Fucking nonsense.
In 45 seconds, you completely change my mind, and I take back what I say. So I admit when I'm wrong.
It's just silly because if you take it and you start, like, cultural appropriation, for example, right? Like, Japanese people they're not mad if you appropriate some of their culture. It's like it's appreciation. It's cultural appreciation.
Kind of paying homage, right?
Yeah.
It's you love that shit. That shit is fire. We want in. What's up?
Yeah. What's up?
This shit is fucking cool. What the fuck? It's like people aren't appropriating garbage. They're not like, oh, that shit sucks. Let's take it.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to be a part of this bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody wants that. You should be. That's reverence. Like, you should be happy people want to appropriate.
Yeah.
That's showing love to your shit.
No one's out there dressing like me, so I mean.
You think we dressed up as ninjas on Halloween because ninjas suck? No, we want to be ninjas because they fucking rule.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I wanted to be a ninja, but my mom dressed me up as a cat when I was 8, and I got made fun of. So
I would have been there making fun of you.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was
Look at the fucking faggy cat.
Yeah, it was horrible.
I bet you wanted to be a ninja, fag.
That's why white people suck. See?
I never asked her why she fucking dressed me up as a cat. I was right.
Mom, I want to be a ninja. I'm gonna dress you up as a pussy, son.
A big pussy.
Hey, Balak, really, I mean, we'll hang on and just bullshit if you want, but just really quick before we get in our gun to your head segment, plug yourself so people who watch the show, all 75 people who watch the show, sorry we don't have a bigger fan base yet, but they can catch you where you are.
Gotta start somewhere, man.
Absolutely. So where can we catch you on? I think you got kicked off with Twitter, right?
Yeah, I got booted for saying retarded.
Oh, gotcha.
That's fucking retarded.
Yeah.
They kicked me off for saying retarded. And it's not like I said to a dude, I said, you say some retarded shit.
Right.
And they booted me off the internet for that. That's a word, though. Retarded's a word.
It is a word,
It's in the dictionary, I'm pretty sure. Fucking, so I'm not on Twitter. I'm a Diabolic Hip Hop on Instagram. I think it's the same. I think it's Facebook / Diabolic Hip Hop.
Yeah, I'll put your handle on here.
Yeah, my YouTube. It's either Diabolic Fans or Diabolic Hip Hop on YouTube. But if my name comes up, you'll see me. I'll be there.
Now, Diabolic, what we do on this show is, and we think all day about these, right? We do a gun to your head segment, and we keep standings, okay? So we got to ask you 5 questions each, and first thing that comes to your mind is a little wordplay. It's kind of like a would you rather, but we kind of make it a little creative, or at least we like to think we do. And we keep standings. So right now, I'm not going to
wait, how is it scored, though? I don't get
You get the vote at the end. A lot of pressure on you.
Who had the best question?
Yeah, the guest gets the vote.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, I vote on who had the best question.
Yeah.
Yes, so.
You determine the winner at the end.
All right. Brian won last time.
I can't go first. I'm not ready.
Brian won last time when we had Ubiquitous on, so he goes last. I'm going to go first. Your host, TruExact. Eric will go second, and then Brian will go last. So you ready for this?
Yep.
Fuck, I'm nervous. All right. Would you rather fight every living beach boy or fight one boy at the beach?
Every living beach boy.
You'd probably win that one, too. Okay. Would you rather have carpal tunnel or carpool through tunnels every time you travel?
Carpool through tunnels.
Okay.
This kid's good.
Thank you. Would you rather listen to Panic at the Disco or Panic at a Disco?
I'd rather Panic at a Disco.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Would you rather climb a mountain or only drink Mountain Dew for 1 year?
Definitely drink Mountain Dew.
All right. Last one. Would you rather be a blackjack dealer or Jack Black's dealer?
Jack Black's pretty fucking paid. I'll be his dealer.
All right. That's my 5. Eric, you're up.
Okay. I came up with these about 20 minutes ago. Would you rather hang out with Jamie Foxx or have a fox named Jamie?
Fuck.
Ooh. I think I'd hang out with Jamie Foxx. He's pretty cool. I watched him fucking sing live on one of these COVID things. He was pretty dope.
Okay. Would you rather hang out with Christian Bale or bail on Christianity?
I'm not very Christian. I'll hang out with Christian Bale. He's a crazy fuck.
I would have said the same thing. Would you fight 50 Cent for 50 cents or fight Young Buck for $1?
I love 50 Cent. I do. I'd have to beat up Young Buck for $1.
Beat up Young Buck.
More money.
This is an interesting one. I've asked people this, and it's all the same answer. Get your heart broken or have open heart surgery?
I'm going to go with get my heart broken on that.
Wow, you're the first person ever to say that.
Yeah.
All right.
Open heart surgery is serious, man.
Last one. Eat Taco Bell for a week straight or make a bell out of tacos?
I have a Taco Bell right there. I had it today for lunch. I'm going with Taco Bell.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll deal with it.
These are tough. I'm very bad.
The reigning champion is up.
Oh, we got the champ is here now.
Let me show you guys how this is done. All right, first one. Would you rather drink a Bud Light or have a light Bud?
Go with Bud Light.
Okay.
Light Bud, that doesn't sound like enough to get you baked. I'm going to go with the Bud Light. No, it's Budweiser, really.
Would you rather give a guy a hand job or do a job that requires you to lose your hands?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
That's a fucking tough one.
That's not even
I'm
gay.
gonna jerk the guy off. I'm gonna fucking do it. I like my fuck. I'm gonna keep my hands. If that's the choice, I'm gonna have to fucking jerk the guy off.
Would you rather carry a teddy bear everywhere you go or go by the name Theodore Bear?
Fuck.
I'm gonna go with the name Theodore Bear.
Okay. Would you rather have a job making peanut butter or a job buttering peanuts?
Ooh.
How'd you butter peanuts?
I'm gonna go with the peanut butter.
Okay. And last one. Would you rather have a dance-off with Little Richard while naked or suck a little dick?
I'm going to do the naked dance-off with Little Richard.
Okay.
I would hope so. All right, Bollock. This is huge. Who was your best question? Who's the winner here?
This is a tough one, man. This is tough. These are good. I don't know. It's like a toss-up. I might have to flip a fucking bottle cap on this one.
Yeah.
Oh, no. What are the two that you're thinking of?
It's between you
Yes.
and I don't want to confuse your names. Eric is the second one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Brian, right?
Yeah.
So it's between you and Brian. It is.
I knew mine sucked. I came up with
Just sell a bottle cap. We're going to flip it up. I'm going to throw it up in the air. Which side you want?
I'll call the gold side. I'm just gonna edit it to make it look like I won. So
You guys should put money on it.
Because I don't have any coins around, so I'm going to flip it. You fucking won, kid.
Yes! It's the Jack
You're the
Black
champ.
one, wasn't it? It was the Jack Black
It was.
one. Right? There it is.
It was pretty good. They were pretty clever.
I tied. That's my third victory. That's 3-3-2. The standings will pop up here in a second. Hey, Bollock, thanks for coming
That
out.
hand job question, though, was probably the question of the day. That was a pretty fucking good one.
That was
a good
phenomenal,
question.
Hey,
It's a tough one.
Scott won out of luck. Brian really won.
I hope you have fun, Bollock. Seriously, we want to have you on again, man.
No, I did. Whenever, man. I'm down.